when I remember reading the plot of this thing, thinking, I play a woman who's just delivering mail to people in a town.
That is it. And
I was
I'm
like, whoa,
40.
how long is this game? Because that sounds kind of drab and like chores.
Right? Yeah.
I was like, okay, but I gotta play it. You got to do it for the podcast. And then when you're in it, and like 3 hours go by, and you're like, okay, where's the next parcel going to? Like it just gets you. You're just so chilled out.
I'm so glad to hear it got you as well. I did not get tired of delivering letters and packages.
I was just drinking like a tea or a coffee, and I was just delivering away.
It's such a good time.
It was just weirdly delightful to some degree. It's odd. It has a magic to it.
Hello and welcome back to a brand new episode of everyone's favorite podcast, the Critical Arcade Podcast. I'm your co-host, Nick.
And I'm Dave.
Hello, Dave.
Hello, Nick. Are you well?
Yes, I am well. I am relaxed. I am composed.
Wow, it's a first.
Thank you, yes.
But yeah, I'd say you obviously this week's game relaxed you. Got you into that zen mood.
It has.
You're centered, right?
I'm sitting here cross-legged on a carpet.
Slightly floating off the ground, like by an inch, right? just completely zen with your aura just slightly just like...
And there's a humming sound somewhere. It's not exactly me,
right.
but it's just a humming sound.
And birds are just flying in, just landing around you. Yeah, exactly. See, I can feel it. I can feel it through the screen.
I'm going to break out in song any minute now.
Okay, then, ladies and gentlemen, I think that's the end of the podcast. Nobody wants to hear that.
Please subscribe to our Patreon.
I'd say that's please #stop Nick from singing. But I'm glad you're centered. I'm glad you're zen. Why?
Yes.
Why?
It's because of this. It's because of this week's game. We usually have some preamble. I just want to talk about this week's game.
Same. So what was this week's game?
This week's game, we played what year was this? The 2021 indie game from, I don't even know how to pronounce the studio. Gamius?
I said Gamius too.
Gamius,
yeah. I'm saying Gamius.
Gamius. The 2021 indie game developed by Gamius and published by Whitehorn Games. This game is called Lake. And how is this a relaxing game?
It's just, well, like I say, my pet peeve instantly, it's just because it's just called Lake. It's not The Lake or Lake something, just Lake.
Just Lake.
And so it's driving me a bit mental because I keep calling it.
You gotta understand, in the gaming industry, people don't like the word "the." You had the same problem with Path of Exile.
Yeah, it's one of those things that always bugged me as a child. Whenever, granted, Blockbuster videos or any of you are looking for the games, and you always forget there's a "the" at the beginning, and so you go to the T section, and it was just 1,000 different games because everything was the Streets of Rage or the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
So obviously this game had that same frustration and just said, no, let's just call it Lake.
Just Lake.
Which is kind of understandable for what it's about. So I get it.
I find it funny they call this game Lake. The lake has almost nothing to do with this
it's very true.
It's just at the center of town. That is it.
It literally is. You just drive around it. But it's a nice lake.
It is a nice lake. They make a comment at the start of the game. Oh, I don't think I can cope without this lake here. That's it.
That's right. That's yeah, no, it's very strange. It is a nice lake. It's a nice area, fundamentally. It's based on Oregon,
super nice.
Oregon,
yes.
Right, in America.
Yeah, Oregon. One of the a very idealistic spot.
Yeah, like picturesque and pretty and trees and relaxed and stuff like that. Yeah, very nice. I'd go there.
Same. We'll get into this in narrative or visuals or whatever, but man, this...
Oh yeah, and Gamius Studios, right? Do you know other games they did?
No.
Or do? Yeah.
No.
Nor do I. I looked and I was like, okay, cool.
I thought you asked me. Anyway, yeah.
Well, I thought this was okay. This game was relatively well received, and it's not bad for an indie game. So I figured they must have a bit of a background in it. And then I looked at it, and they do what looks like they made their initial break on mobile games for Android and iOS.
Okay.
Now, do you know any of these? Now, this is okay. One's called Brickwid.
Brickwid.
Yeah, like liquid, but with like BRI at the beginning. Brickwid.
That doesn't make any sense. I love it.
And there's one called IO. That's it.
IO. The letters I and O.
That's right.
All right.
And then, of course, Brickwid did so well, Brickwid Mini came out, which don't know. Here's another fantastic one for you. Lines.
Lines, of course.
You know Lines?
No.
Ah, I was like, the only thing Lines for me was that a punishment at school. What? That was
go write some lines. Oh, yeah. I'd love to.
And then a game called Turmoil.
No,
not hitting anything.
No, of course not.
Sprawl.
Wait a minute, I know Sprawl. Yes. Okay, Sprawl.
Go on.
Yeah, Sprawl was the main ship that you do all the fighting on Dead Space 2.
Yeah, they made a little Android game about that ship. Well, cool. It was a nice little bit of information. No, I'm guessing this is a puzzle game of some sort. Shame. Turn-based Templars.
Wait, is the game Templars turn-based, or is the name...
No, it's literally called Turn-based Templars.
Turn-based Templars? No.
Right. I know.
Why would you name the game after the
I
game?
know, right?
That's like calling your game shooting men. Call of Duty Shooter Man.
And our last one just before this game was Team Racing League.
These names are horrible.
And then they jumped straight in after Team Racing League, like 4 years later, to Lake. They just jump into a 3D narrative PC, Xbox. I don't know if this is on the PlayStation now. Yeah, of course, PlayStation game. So yeah, a bit of a strange background to it, but I respect it.
Did it take them 4 years to make Lake?
Yeah, well, compared to making a mobile game, I'm guessing it is a bit of a learning curve.
I guess so, yeah.
But yeah, so that was an interesting background check when I was looking at everything and thinking.
Thank you, Dave. Everyone, give a hand to Dave.
Yeah, so all those wonderful, well-known games, and now Lake, which was released 2021,
and
go on.
And now Lake is being featured on our Indie 500 list. Ooh.
Yeah, now they've made it big. You're absolutely
well
right.
done, Gamius and or Whitehorn Games.
Yeah, no doubt. And Lake was one of the first games for the Stadia console, which is now dead. Which was was that Google's? I can't remember who made the Stadia. Was that Google?
Yeah, Google. It was Google Stadia. The poor little Google can't maintain Stadia. Oh no.
Stadia was so bad though.
Oh no, horrible. No, Stadia was fine. The technology was great. It's their business practices that made it go under. You needed to buy the controller.
Yeah.
You needed to pay a monthly subscription fee, and then you still needed to buy the games full price.
Okay. So they were trying to like almost mimic like Apple's strategy for like selling everything individually and charge. It's like, did you see that in-room AR type headset?
No.
Which I think was $3,000.
Apple's new headset.
Oh, is it? Yeah, Apple's one. Yeah,
it's Apple's new headset. It's called the Apple Vision. It's $3,500. $3,500.
And one, I can't remember what it was, but one of the peripherals for it was also $1,000.
No thanks.
which is just so stupid.
No.
But anyway, we digress. Apple.
But they know they can do this. They know they can do this because there are thousands of people who know. Oh yeah, it's Apple we're talking about. Not only is this quality, but I mean, you pay for just that Apple with a bite in it.
That's right, the Flex. The Flex is just having its worth $3,000 in its own right?
Yeah, if you can pay that amount of money for something like that, and you can afford it, it's anyway. We don't need to talk about this.
Anyway, the lake.
The lake. No, just like
Lake. Damn it! See,
you did it again.
That's what gets me. It's okay. Lake.
Lake.
Just lake.
Just like, just Meredith Weiss. That is it in Just Providence Oaks.
Okay, let's jump into the narrative then.
Let's do it.
The narrative is fairly simple. You do take on the role of Meredith, whoever you said.
Weiss.
And she gets 2 weeks away from a high flying job as what I believe was some sort of software engineer or something like that.
It does seem like it.
To take over the role of a postman in Lake. What's the place called?
Providence Oaks. Providence Oaks,
right?
Yeah.
So I love the premise that to get away from work, she goes and does another job, which doesn't sound. And I'm not entirely sure, but I'm pretty sure that's a federal. It's against the law. The mail service in America is a federal service. You can't just jump in for the job for 2 weeks. Yeah, they take their mail service delivery and stuff very strictly in America. It's a federal company because of what's in mail. You know, be it
of
important
course,
documents,
you can't just
credit cards, stuff like that.
Yeah.
You can't just pop in for 2 weeks and just like I'm just helping my dad out. Just so you know, hi, yes, I I've got all your important papers, and you can trust me. I'm his daughter.
It's me. Look,
hey, I used to live here 20 years ago.
22
years ago. But anyway, you play Meredith. She has a busy city life. Comes to Provident Oaks to be a mail person,
delivery
girl, and. Her life slows down a bit when she goes back to her roots.
That is it. And
all her friends from the past and stuff like that.
That's the main takeaway from what the developers wanted you to feel while playing this game. She's this huge software engineer, as you said, or a director of a team or whatever. And it's 1986 or 82. Can't remember.
Yeah, it's 86. No, you're right.
It's 86. And their new software just went live.
That's right.
Add it.
Yeah, I can't remember what it was called either. Yeah, it was something. Yeah, that's right. It was Addit. It reminded me of.
But she's living in the city, and she's 40 something. I think she's 42. And all she's got is this Addit and this high-rise studio, and she's alone. And that's where I don't think she went for. I don't think she went for a vacation to Providence Oaks and was given her dad's job. I think they rung her up and said, "Listen, we're going away for 2 weeks. Do you mind just delivering the mail, illegally?"
Yeah, that's right. She was like, "Yeah, sure, Dad."
And then she took that as an excuse to her job and said, "Listen,
I know it's releasing this week, but I'm leaving.
I'm leaving. I need to go for 2 weeks."
Which is fair enough. You know, it's trying to point out that life isn't all about work.
No. Which
she meets her friends, but some love interests, potential story hiccups. You know, it's like I said, I wrote this down. This whole game reminded me of Gilmore Girls.
Ooh, that is.
Did you get that?
Yeah, I think I alluded. Yes, I got that feeling, but I never came down to Gilmore Girls. But you're so right.
Right, like Provident Oaks is basically
Stars Hollow.
Stars Hollow, thank you. You know, it's full of kooky characters. It's full of tight knit families. Everyone's not. You're not
everyone
friends
knows
with family.
everyone.
Yeah, exactly. And it's got that feel about it, which I must admit isn't horrible. Because that's.
What do you mean it isn't horrible? What do you mean it isn't horrible? No. That's excellent.
It's exactly what the gameplay was trying to do, or the narrative was trying to do, and they did pull it off. There's no doubt they did pull it off.
No, you struck the nail on the head right now. This game, it's giving off hard Gilmore Girls vibes.
Yeah, right.
It's so good.
There's the grumpy lumberjack.
Yep.
Which is a love interest to some degree. Who I don't know the people from Gilmore Girls is the diner.
Yes, the
guy.
Dynaman.
Luke.
I don't know his
Is it
name either,
Luke?
but he's also the grumpy love interest.
Yeah, right. See, so it had so many weird vibes because every time you do your mail rounds, ladies and gents, you also get this like a nuisance will happen. The cat lady needs her cat delivered somewhere, so you've got to go do this, or somebody needs you to go do this quickly and drop this off at the garage and stuff like that.
Exactly. Or there's the VHS lady now wants to open a delivery business.
Yeah, exactly. Or you go to the diner and the chef in the back, all you hear is he's fairly incompetent and keeps breaking things and falling over and stuff. No, it's very Gilmore Girls. The whole thing just screamed Gilmore Girls. You know, I was very much Lorelai when I was playing this in my head.
Oh, that is so good. I really like that. But I think the narrative, it's such a, I said this before, but such a serene time. You could just really sit back, kick your feet up.
Oh yeah, this
Right?
takes
Get
the
lost.
term casual gaming to another level.
Yes.
I've never been so casual.
A lot of people, but the thing, a lot of people would find this boring.
Well, it's one of those genres. You know, I don't like I said. I know anime does it a lot. This is slice of life, right?
Yes.
This would be known as a slice of life genre.
Yes,
type
100%.
game, which isn't really my wheelhouse. I'm not. You know, I've watched things. Like I said, I've watched Gilmore Girls mainly because of my wife, so I've heard it. And we've all, as men, we all know we've heard them going. It's just continuous talking.
Yeah.
But Slice of Life does actually have quite a big following. It's got a very weird.
It really does.
And it's like you said, when it's the same premise that they're trying to tell here. When you're working all the time, or you've got the kids and you're not sleeping, there's kind of escapism in a happy little town. Being a happy little male person and having the little problems to deal with, like a sad cat or,
yes,
you know, the diner running out of blueberry pie or something like that. There's escapism in this, and this game does that narrative very well.
It really
you
does.
generally do enjoy being Meredith and developing her relationships and seeing which decisions go where.
Mm-hmm. Somewhat liked slice of life dramas, but this one I thoroughly enjoyed. I don't know if it hits different because it's a game.
Yeah, it's possibly. You know, we've been playing. It's our medium, so to speak, isn't it? Compared to TV and stuff. Yeah.
But it's so laid back. I can thoroughly just sit back, and when you're driving around the lake. And the tunes are playing some 80s hits.
Yeah, I did like that.
The sun is just in the sky, and there's no troubles, nothing to hinder.
That's right.
I think that's the feeling you long for. The feeling this game gives you is something that you really, really want in your real life.
Yeah, I agree. Yes, entirely. This life and having like finances and stuff like that, I'd run there straight away.
Yeah,
like no debts, nice houses, friendly people. Yeah, no doubt. But it's a nice palate cleanser, isn't it? Ooh, we all play all these games like Diablo and Street Fighter 6 is coming out, and we got it's all this tense story based death and bad guys and.
Okay.
And then
we need to kill Odin.
Yeah, exactly. It's always these extreme scenarios that ended the world, and then all of a sudden you just play a game where you're just a mail delivery person.
You're just in
a friendly town. It's
that
always
is
sunny.
it. That is literally
80s
it.
vibes. Yeah, exactly. It's really nice.
There's nothing more going on. You reconnect with old friends.
That's right.
You help around town, and that is it. And that is good enough.
Yeah, no, it's a very interesting, and this is the first game that I know of that has that as its main premise. Oh. I know you've got games like Stardew Valley, and you've got Harvest Moon,
but
which is all kind of slice of lifey too. This is literally just the Gilmore Girls story in a game.
You're right. You're right.
The relaxed, friendly, comedic, I guess you say drama to some degree.
Yeah,
it was different.
I think.
Yeah, it was different, and I actually did enjoy the differentness. I wasn't expecting to.
I think games like Stardew Valley do also tend to focus a lot on gameplay as well.
Yes, entirely. Yes, no, it's very much so,
Whereas
yes.
gameplay in this game took a nice chunky backseat.
Yeah, you can say
It
that.
really did.
But yeah. Okay, yeah, like I say, anything else narratively you want to put forward?
I just really don't like Meredith's boss.
Yeah, no, he's a dick. There's no doubt.
Good.
He is-
Wow. This game made me feel nice, warm, and fuzzy, but whenever he was on the phone, and I think they did that intentionally.
They
you know,
did, they
when
did.
her city life comes knocking back, you don't want to answer the phone or whatever.
No, exactly right. No, he
But
was
Oh, wow! Invasive,
gaslighty. He was
overstepping
incredibly-
boundaries.
Yeah, he really was all the time.
No, and
But
then
it's
he
an
played it
interest-
off like it's nothing.
Yeah, but like I said, it hits well because we all know somebody like that. We all potentially have had a boss that's just like that.
Unfortunately,
It's like he pretends to be your friend,
Yeah.
but uses that to manipulate you into
no.
doing work on your holidays or going the extra mile for
No.
real, a benefit. He was scummy. There's no doubt.
And
He
now,
really was.
now I
Oh.
want to stop talking about him because I'm getting fed up. Because
Well, I'm guessing I know what decision you'd have made at the end. I'll put it that way.
yeah, for sure.
Okay, visually then, should we jump into it?
Let's do it. The visuals, we've said it at the start of this episode, and we'll say it again. This town looks great. This lake looks great. Everything.
It is very pretty.
It is. It's not super graphically intensive. The graphical fidelity isn't that high. I'm playing this on my PS5, and even the resolution, it's 1080p. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's one of those things where, yeah, again, we always say this. It's an indie game, so you can't compare it to
No.
AAA titles and
No.
like that. See, I wasn't as happy with the graphics as you were,
Oh,
but it is very picturesque and it is very simple. But there were some things that kind of bugged me a bit,
okay.
and I'm going to be very
Critical.
picky. Yeah, I can be. There's no animation to go in and out the van.
Oh, why the screen
It's-
fades to black, and then
It
you're
just
in,
goes
and then
bing,
it
yeah,
fades
it's
back
like,
in.
bing. Like even Grand Theft Auto 3. Hell, even like Grand Theft Auto
what?
1.
Are you comparing this indie game to Grand Theft Auto?
Oh no, okay. Grand Theft Auto, the original, had an animated scene when you got into the car. The top
It was
perspective
12
2D.
pixels.
Yeah, but still, she just goes bing, like she's I'm Dream of Jeannie or what was the other one? Bewitched. I'm not sure if
Yeah.
you know those TV programs, but
Yes.
are very old. It's just bing, and then when you open the back of the truck to get like a parcel, it's this black abyss. There's no.
No, it's not.
Oh, it is.
No, I could swear I can see the parcels.
You could see the parcels. Okay, I swear, maybe it's me. I swear it was just a black screen with some parcels on it. I'm almost tempted to boot it up straight away to see if I'm wrong.
It's fine.
Just-
Okay, it's a black abyss. Fine.
Okay, but like I said, it's an indie game.
Yes, it is.
Maybe like I said, we say this before, we're very spoiled with what's out there, and we play all this Horizon Zero Dawn and Last of Us, and it's all so pretty. But like you were putting out, is that the simplicity almost adds to the charm of the area, though.
It 100% does.
Yeah, I can backtrack and say it makes you feel more isolated.
The
The
most-
idea you're in a
yeah.
nice, quaint little town, the fact that there isn't, there's just lots of trees and lots of birds and a
That is
lake
it.
that you drive around.
And a nice big road and a radio station.
Yeah, correct. All those little things you expect. A little town, a cafe, which is always a classic in these types of scenarios. Now,
Well, the diner.
yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Sorry, the diner. No, of course. Yeah, of course. No, it was good. I liked most of it. I was just more picky than you. And I don't know, I'm also slightly being a bit mean because one of it would be performance. I sometimes had it rendering really slow.
That is performance.
Yeah, it's more performance, but I kind of put that in the visual thing kind of too. But yeah, you're right. That's probably more of a performance issue. But okay, what did you think? Let's give the super positive side. Your
The game is very, very bright. It's very colorful and stylized.
Yeah, no doubt.
And I think that fits perfect for something like this. Right? If
I agree.
If they made this ultra realistic.
No, you'd lose the charm. I agree entirely. Yeah.
If all the colors were drab. I mean, a town in the middle of a forest, that's dark. It doesn't get very
yeah,
bright.
No doubt.
That's a dark place.
Relatively scary if you do any other like game where it's a town in the middle of a forest.
Yes.
All I picture is you're dead in like the next 3 weeks or so. Be it
But
the
no,
quarry and all the other places that you.
It's almost like the trees are absorbing sunlight and then
No, it
dispersing
is.
it themselves. It's so bright and so stylized, and it's just nice. It's just very nice to look at. Even the main character, Meredith Weiss, you can see she's 40, but
Yeah. I know what you mean.
it's well made. She looks nice. All the other characters are made to look good as well.
Yeah, yes, I know. I agree. There's that cool, almost cell shaded but slightly painted aspect to the art scar style.
Very
right?
true.
And I also, as an '80s child, the '80s vibes are pretty strong in this. I loved, like you said, I loved there's the video rental place, which I'm already happy with because it's video. This is VHS, people, not DVDs. This was old school VHS movie rental.
And did all those films.
Yeah, did you read them?
I did. It's so funny.
They were brilliant little bits of, I guess you call it satiric or something like that.
Yeah.
There was, instead of the fly, it was the bee.
The bee. And back to the present.
Stupid. Back to the present. Yeah, so many of them were so stupid. The gremlins.
Stupid?
Stupid good.
Stupid good. Yeah,
there's nothing wrong
good.
with a stupid joke. I don't like. I literally went round all the movies to find which ones they had.
I'm so glad you did it too.
Yeah, the Oddfather was there. That's right. There were so many. I feel like there was a Pulp Fiction one. But I can't remember.
I should have written it down, but there were lots.
No, it was a good time. It was those funny bits, and the 80s nostalgia was all there, which I enjoyed.
Yeah.
Like you said, it was all VHS and watching a movie when you went home instead of Netflix, and going to a diner, like you said, going to without, we all got delivery services and stuff like that. There's a nice little memory capsule aspect to playing the game that visually comes forwards in the graphics and stuff, which I enjoy as a
it really is
old man that I am.
There, even the mechanic teenage girl, she's working on cars while listening to her Walkman.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And that was great. And like I said, I don't know, you weren't really the age of the Walkman, were you?
No.
I had 2. I was so
Whoa!
cool. And I had a yellow one, just like hers. I had a yellow one.
Oh, wow.
That's Walkman so cool. Was great.
I am jealous.
Oh, you should be. The Walkman was fantastic.
we had MP3 players.
Yeah, exactly. You went straight into MP3. You don't know the
not
thrill
as impressive
of having to rewind and hear the bit when you're rewinding and having to get a pencil to turn the tape back into.
I've done that. Just not
good times.
Although,
well, anyway,
yeah, it's such. It hits different riding around this town. And at the start of the game, you get, I don't know, what is it? About 4 or 5 minutes of her studio apartment in the city.
Yeah, that's right.
And it's so dark.
Yeah, no doubt.
It's almost, it feels almost like they made it dark intentionally, and they made her feel, it felt lonely.
Oh, it felt cold.
Ambiance
was
right. Dark.
No, you're right.
It almost felt scary. It really felt like the developers wanted you to feel the difference between city life and Providence Oaks.
No, it feels like they somewhat have like some property in Oregon somewhere, and they made this game like, and just so you know, we actually own a few flats and houses down in Oregon near a lake. So if you want to,
we've got some timeshare. Here's a pamphlet.
Yeah, exactly. It always feels like there should be that at the end of it. But they're definitely playing the yin and yang to city life compared to country life, so to speak.
So
and
true.
Playing slowing down life is good for the soul, so to speak.
This town is just so extremely idealistic and
Yeah, it
picturesque. You said. I don't think a
Yeah,
town
no,
like
exactly right.
does a town like this even exist around all these mountains and trees and lakes.
I'm sure they do, especially in a place like America and Canada and the like. Sadly, not here in old South Africa.
Definitely.
But
not
no,
here.
it's almost dream worthy, isn't it? It's like a goal.
It really
like,
is.
It really is. No, like I said.
I think the term used is Americana.
Yeah, okay, that's true. Yeah, I think you're right.
This is some pure hardcore Americana. I even spotted some US flags
Of
around.
course, yeah. Yes.
I think the store or
Some
the post
solid
office.
patriotism. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah.
And
No, it
it
was
doesn't
cool.
even look out of place.
No, exactly. That's exactly the vibes of America in general, and especially America in the 80s. You know,
Yes.
they were very, and still are very patriotic people.
Yeah.
Anything else, visual wise?
No, that's it for visuals. I scored visuals highly as well.
Okay, and now it's time for Audio Man.
But not as highly as I scored audio.
Whoa!
Whoa!
what a segue that was. Amazing.
Thank you. This a big part of this game, and I think the biggest way to get someone immersed in a game is by using audio.
Especially this type of game, yeah. Entirely.
Especially this type of game. Not only the
Storytelling and
music,
stuff.
which
Yeah.
sounded like the type of music you'd find on the radio in Oregon
entirely.
in the
Yeah.
80s.
No, it was perfect. They did that
But the
perfectly.
sound
yeah.
effects and the ambiance.
Mm.
That was my favorite, the ambiance, by the way.
Just the ambiances of the town itself. The
noises.
chirping of the bugs,
Yes.
the wind in the trees, that type of thing.
That is it. That is exactly it. When you're driving between trees, you can hear the wind rustling, the leaves and the branches, and you'd hear chirping, and the bugs, like you said, and the engine. It's not even a loud, annoying engine.
No,
it
isn't
should
at
be.
all.
It's an old van. But no, it's pleasant. And
But no-
if you get out of the van, there's no animation, sure.
Bing! But yeah, go on.
but you'd hear the sounds getting out the door, closing the door.
You did. That's true. That's
like
true.
that.
You heard
Come
the
on.
sound, but you didn't see it. It's very true.
And when you're outside of the van and you're walking to the back, you can hear the radio getting more distant.
That's true. They did do the positional sound effects
Yeah.
quite well. Yeah, no, I'm with you.
Again, the simplicity of everything just fits together so well that it grows to be larger than the sum of its parts.
Yeah, no, I understand. I agree. No, the sound was good, and like you said, that this being purely like a story book
Yes.
type telling of a thing, even the voice acting was just spot on.
It really was.
And these aren't like I tried to look to see if there was any prolific like voice actors in here in some regards. Like, did they get some funding to? No, they're all just. I don't understand it. Normal people. I know it's a rude way to define anyone
What?
as a normal person.
B
The voice actors.
grade actors.
Yeah, exactly. But they do it so well. There's even just the vocal cues for when the lumberjack gets bad mail. You know, yeah, I don't forget his name. You go see a lumberjack, sexy old lumberjack man.
Yeah.
And he gets something in the mail, and then he opens it up, and he finds it's something that's angered him, and so instead of being like pleasant in your wordplay, he becomes more curt and then short in his wordplay because he just wants to get back into the house.
I agree. The voice acting is good, but for that bit, the writing wasn't so great.
Yeah, the writing's not the best.
Right,
And
you give him this letter, and then he said, "Oh, thanks. I'm gonna open this right now."
Yeah, that's true.
He says that out loud.
Narrative for what's on the screen for those people.
I'm sure the
who can't
voice actors
see.
did their best. It sounds like it, but come on, writing.
I did not like the crazy cat lady. She was doing my head in. I bought her a bear that was obviously a bear wrapped up as
and
a
she
bear.
was mean.
And then she was mean, like I was being nosy.
Yeah.
Because
No,
I said it
it's
looks
a
like someone's got a
bear.
bear.
It's very obviously a bear, lady.
Yeah, she was. Yeah, what a bitch. All right, crazy old ladies, crazy cat ladies can be like that. So
And then you try to apologize, and then she says, "No, it's too late. You're so mean." I don't know. Okay, sorry. It's not.
But there was
like
lots.
her either.
Like some of the voice acting was was good. Like I don't know what her old best friend was, but there was the conversation they had there. There was a background to the way they talked to one another.
True.
You could feel the anger, right?
You
Or
could
the
feel
resentment.
there's some history there.
There was something there, yeah. You could feel
Nobody
it.
said anything, but
Nah.
you could very clearly hear, and that's kudos to the voice acting.
Yeah, really. It's like that was like, oh, how have you been? And you can hear
Good.
it's just
I'm good, thank you.
yeah. It's one of those. It's socially what you're supposed to say, even though at that moment they actually don't care. You could feel it,
Yeah.
and that was all done with
yeah.
the voice acting, which I thought that was done really well. I liked that. And of course the 80s tunes banging out the van also. Always helped.
I would drive around that town for ages, right?
Yeah,
delivering
would take
mail,
this
listening
job.
to the. It's the simple things.
It really is. You know that we all live, especially we live in a fast-paced world, internet, TV,
Yes,
all the fun
yes.
things coming up.
Podcasts,
Like I said,
Patreon.
I'm only 35 years old, but I'm looking at that life and I'm like, yeah, that would work. give me some shelter, some food, drive
Yes.
around. And
Yep, one please.
yeah, exactly. I'd be there in a second. I have no problem with it.
No, it
And
really
it
is.
does that. It does that well. It makes you almost jealous of the scenario.
I'm jealous.
In
What are
the
you talking?
fast-paced world. Well, lots of
Yeah.
people wouldn't be. You know, people love city life. There's a bunch of people who love city life and all the noises and the shouting and stuff like that happens with it. I'm certainly not one of those people.
Did you walk around a bit, not delivering anything, not drive around, just walk around?
Well, you've said a word there that's going to trigger me, but that's for performance issues later on. I looked around the shops a bit. I can't say I actually did a proper wander or walkabout. No.
Okay. There's a part after you walk around a bit, the synths kick in.
Yeah.
The same synths that you hear at the main menu.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. I know
These-
what you mean.
They're so slow, so deliberate. You just can't help but feel at peace when listening to these types of music like this.
Mhm.
I don't know how they manage to get a package. I don't know what I'm trying to say. I'm just trying to say that these synths that you hear at the menu and when you're wandering, it fits so perfectly the vibe. It turns the vibe into something else. You just can't help but I don't know. I caught myself putting the controller down, starting to think, wow, maybe I should just run away to Oregon.
yeah, that's right. We've all had that thought every once in a while. No, but I get you mean. And we've said this a lot about indie games. They always take one characteristic of their game development, and it's always like a 10, and the rest is often a 6 or a 7.
Yeah.
And again, that's what they've done in this game. There's just
Yeah.
it's got its faults. It's got these things here and there, but you can see where their passion was, and then you can see what was built around the passion.
This simple atmosphere.
Yeah, it was the atmosphere and the vibes of the town itself, as well as some of the storytelling. That was really important to them. You can see throughout the game,
and it lands.
Yeah, it really does. No, like I said, I couldn't believe when I remember reading the plot of this thing, thinking, I play a woman who's just delivering mail to people in a town.
It. And
I was
I'm
like, whoa,
40.
how long is this game? Because that sounds kind of drab and like chores,
Right? Yeah.
Right? I was like, okay, but I got to play it. You got to do it for the podcast. And then when you're in it, and like 3 hours go by, and you're like, okay, where's the next parcel going to? Like it just gets you. You're just so chilled out.
I'm
and just,
so glad to hear it got you as well. I did not get tired of delivering letters and
no,
packages.
I was just drinking like a tea or a coffee, and I was just delivering away.
It's such a good time.
It was just weirdly delightful to some degree. It's odd. It has a magic to it.
It really does. And indie games get I don't know how, but indie games get magic in their
Oh,
games
yeah.
like these so
really do.
perfectly.
Yeah, they really
AAA
do know
releases aren't close at all. They haven't
No.
been close to getting magic like this in a long time.
It is weird, isn't it? I know exactly what you mean. There's very
Yeah.
few bits that make you feel warm and fuzzy, for lack of a better term. There's just these, and like you said, and the idea that this was, again, another small team of people. I can't remember exactly their background, but it's always a small team of people who have a concept and they come together and they start making. And yet again, they made mobile games, and then they had this idea which they just ran with.
Yes.
And you can see it was a passion project again. You really can, and that's often with indie games. It's what we love about indie games. There's just so much passion in there, and it comes through. Okay, okay. Anything else audio-wise?
No, and if we're going on to gameplay, I think this would be the part where our review takes a dip.
Yeah, no doubt. I don't know if I should put it into gameplay or performance.
No, I don't think so either. But even gameplay, if we're objectively singling out gameplay, it's you just deliver mail.
I'll give it one prop. I actually liked how the van drove.
Oh yeah, right. Me too. Did you ever crash the van?
Handling-wise, no.
What?
I was
you never drove full speed into a tree?
I didn't know. Like, if I'm a mail person or mailman, I take it seriously.
Oh, wow. You're working. This is a federal position. You can't.
Yeah, exactly.
You're not playing
I was
games.
vibing
You can't
to
horse
the
around.
music. Yeah, I don't want to be. This is my dad's job. He might lose it. I had to do it properly. I even, when you go back to the mail delivery place, I even parked into the space between the lines. Made sure I did it properly because this is my job here.
Wow, you were immersed.
I was.
Oh man, I'm giddy hearing you say that.
Did you properly crash the van?
Or I tried. I see what for the review. I didn't want to because I know this is my dad's van.
That's right. This was just for the review.
It's Goose.
Right?
It's the Goose. You
can't
mess up the Goose.
That's right.
But yes, I tried crashing the van for the review. I closed my eyes and nothing happened. The van just stopped.
No, I figured as much because the game doesn't want you to live that way. You're got to take this.
But
seriously.
They know nobody's gonna crash the Goose.
Yeah, exactly. Who would want to do that? You'd have to be, evil to want to crash the Goose. What's wrong with you? No, but it actually drives quite well. You can imagine, there are so many games that do their driving really poorly, and you've got this horrible schlep of driving cars that are just like, oh. This one actually handles kind of heavy, kind of like slow as you'd expect one to be. You're not going to be doing 100 miles an hour or anything in these things.
No, around a lake? Are you kidding me?
Yeah, exactly. So that was my good takeaway. Yeah, and like I say, it's very hard to talk much about gameplay when literally all you do is deliver mail and chat.
That really is it.
Literally,
you give
literally
people their mail and their packages. The most complicated it gets is you need to check what the address is and then get the right
that's right.
address on the package out.
And that sounds complicated, but it says on the screen when you park out the exact place where you are. So I was thinking, do I have to get my map out? Do I have to make sure? Nope. Just a little prompt on the screen says you're at 201. I don't know.
And then you need to pick 201 from all the packages.
That's right. It was like a mini puzzle game.
But that's by design.
It is. Yes, it is. It is.
It's so simple by design. They really didn't want it. They didn't want to complicate the gameplay at all.
Yeah, exactly right. And
you take the package and you walk inside, and the radio gets distant. Right, the sound of the trees disappear as you walk inside. You can hear ding-a-ling as you walk into the shop.
That's right. And you got some story choices. You do get different branches to conversations. You get to choose, albeit to your romantic options, who you want to romance or not. Albeit options in regards to both jobs, be it being the post lady or being the high exec in city. You get to decide what to do, where to go, who to hang out with in regards to after you've done the job. There are little decisions here and there that you get to choose as Meredith. Can I put out one? It's at the back of my tongue. It's burning up, and I just have to say it because it was the most frustrating thing about this game.
What do you mean?
You have
What is it?
walk. You have walk, right?
Yes, you've got walk.
And then if you were tired of the walk, you could press, on PC, shift, or in this game, I can't remember what it was. But there was like, if you want to go a bit faster, just hold in A or something like that. Or
Yeah.
X, sorry, right? Yeah, that made a walk like 3% faster.
Yes.
It was entire.
That's
It was
right.
the most infuriating shift sprint button I have ever pressed in my entire life.
3% faster is generous.
I was like, what? I'm like, okay, a mailman shouldn't be running. I'm with you. I'll stick with the pros of the whole scenario. Don't run. But, oh my God, like, why put the button in? Why give you a prompt saying that if you want to move faster, hold down this button? And
They
then
were
you go,
lying.
it drove me mental.
I totally get that.
Absolutely mental.
I played this on my PS5, so I pressed R2 and
Was
then
it R2?
I went faster, a total of 3%.
It was mental, yeah.
And I thought, oh no, this isn't faster at all. And then I never thought about it again.
No, me, I couldn't get over the speed boost when you press the button.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
I was
yeah.
like, what? Come on. Can't you power walk? Can't you skip? I don't know, something that's a little faster than this little snail-paced little she's 42. She's not dead. She can move. It bugs me so
You're
much.
right. You're so right with it isn't that fun in gameplay. But that goes against the design choices of the
I know.
game.
I give you, it's supposed to be relaxing and slow-paced and stuff.
Yeah.
Then don't add the button.
But okay, you're right. That doesn't
Tell
make
me
it fun.
that this is going to be the pace throughout, so just deal with it. Don't tell me if you want to do it a little faster, just hold
Yes.
this button and then give me 3%.
Oh man,
It was driving me mental each time.
I get that. I totally get
always, like I said, I love the immersion. There was one part you go pick up a cat because the old woman's been feeding it muffins, which fair enough, very Gilmore Girls.
that. Yes.
And then you go to the bait shop, and I get to the bait shop, and where's the bait shop owner? He's at the end of the pier.
Yeah.
So
you
you
need
gotta
to
go up-
walk 10 minutes.
You gotta walk. Yeah, like, I'm carrying a cat. Okay, you should walk slowly when carrying a cat. It'd be mean if you weren't. But literally, just walking all the way up those steps and all the way to the end of the pier took about 5 to 6 minutes.
Oh. And you did it. Oh, okay. I remember this exact walk.
Yeah.
And I don't know if this is slightly embarrassing, but on my way back to the goose from the pier, I slightly tilted the camera and had it pan around Meredith as she was walking off of the pier.
Fair enough, yeah.
Because I enjoyed the walking and I enjoyed looking around. And I don't know if you saw, but if you look at Meredith while you're walking, she looks around her.
Oh, I didn't know. I didn't see that. So she's actually taking in the sights as she walks.
Exactly.
Oh,
And
that's
it's just
cool.
so cool.
That is cool. But, I spent 2 minutes trying to find the door to this bait shop as well. Until then I realised he's all the way out
He's at
there.
the
I was
back.
like,
Yeah.
oh. But yeah, I'm a grumpy old sod at times, and this wound me up. I'm glad you were just taking in the moment and just watching her hair flutter against the breeze as she takes in the waves and and the
Or when you
sunlight
need
bouncing
to,
off.
or when you need to take the cat. I can't remember what the cat's name was.
Oh, I don't know.
When you
Oliver, it's some sort of posh name for a
Oh,
girl.
that's right. When you need to take the cat to the vet.
Yeah.
And if you look in the van, you can see the cat in his little basket on the passenger seat.
That's right. That's true. I
And
lost the cat at one point.
What do you mean?
Because you take the cat and
Yes.
she's walking around with it, and then I decided, oh crap, I'm near a mailbox, so I might as well just go drop off this package or something.
Yeah.
So then I went to the back, grabbed the package, went into the house, and then I was like, oh crap, where's the cat? Why aren't I holding the cat anymore? Like, there's no inventory button.
You lost
there's no
the cat!
tab.
No!
I was like, where's the cat? So I was like, is the cat in the
You
car?
can't lose the cat.
So I had to go to the back, and then when I opened up, I was relatively relieved to see that amongst my packages was the cat.
Wait, do you mean
cat
among the in the back of the van?
in the back of the van? Yes.
You put the
It
cat in
wasn't-
the back of the van?
Oh, she put the cat in the back of the van. I just wanted
right.
to deliver a package,
What?
and then it was no longer in her hand. She was, it was, it was funny. It made sense to some degree. Yeah.
It does. It does. It is
It was
a
funny.
package, technically.
But gameplay was basic.
Basic,
But
simple.
it's supposed to be.
Take
So,
a back seat. The gameplay
exactly.
loop isn't the main focus.
No,
It's,
exactly.
It's fun. You can, I mean,
Yeah.
I don't mind delivering the mail or the
No, it
packages
was
or
alright.
whatever.
It was alright. Yeah.
Or just traversing the town. But that's not the main focus.
No, exactly. This is all narrative, so gameplay is always going to take a back seat to something
Yes.
like this. Just
Here
like
we go.
Telltale Games and everything else they make and stuff like
Oh,
that.
I
You
was
don't play-
I was expecting you to say taking a back seat, just like performance.
Yeah, well, true. That's a nice segue, true. I should have done that. Okay, you definitely scored performance lower than I did. What
Yes.
problems did you have?
I had loads of bugs.
How so?
This game just performs so badly. I really did not care. Whenever I got a bug, I just shrugged and continued because this is an indie game.
Yeah,
We've got
it's
this
true.
in our Indie 500 blog. And this is, I don't want to say an ambitious indie game, but I mean, building a town like this,
Yeah, it's a lot.
this isn't a small indie game.
No, exactly. But what
It's-
bugs? Like, are we talking lags? Are we talking frame rate issues?
Uh,
crashing?
Yes, frame rate issues at some spots, and the camera would just glitch through the ground. So then I would look underneath the road.
Oh, yeah, I know exactly. It's like the Pokemon Scarlet and Violet type.
Yes,
problem.
yes.
Yeah.
Just loads of those. At one point, during a conversation, I think Meredith's voice just wasn't there. It was just silent for a sentence.
Whoa, I didn't know. Like, say, I didn't have these things, or maybe I didn't notice.
What did
these
you
things.
play this on?
I played it on the PlayStation 5. Yeah,
Okay.
it was free, wasn't it? On the
Yeah.
subscription
Yeah, it's on
service.
PS Plus.
Yeah, I had frame rate issues, sure. But like you said, to some degree with an indie game, you kind of slightly expect those things. You shouldn't, but they did.
Yeah.
I didn't miss, like, she wasn't just quiet like a Persona protagonist. She did just stand there. I didn't know she was missing voice in some of the bits. I didn't get any of that. I lost a
But-
cat. That was
You lost the cat.
That's about as far
I was
as
just
mine
about to
went.
say, you lost the cat. That's a
Yeah, I
bug.
know. That's a bug, true. I did lose the cat. But yeah, frame rate, a few camera, nothing as bad as clipping through the ground. I didn't have that. I
Yeah.
had some weird
Or-
tree issues.
Same. I crashed into a tree and nothing happened.
Yeah, it's true. That's where's the physics engine in this game? Come on.
What?
Yeah, why I crashed through the screen like on Grand Theft
Literally.
Auto.
Unplayable.
Yeah, exactly. It's broken. What's going on?
So I scored performance low, sure, but I think I don't know. That's if I'm gonna score performance for a game that performs poorly, I'm gonna score it poorly.
Yeah, you have to. No, you have to. It's just the integrity of the whole thing, isn't it?
But if anyone from Gamius is listening, be aware audio, visuals, and narrative are nice and high.
Yeah. It's intriguing because you wonder if it's buggy because it released on so many platforms.
Yeah.
Windows,
Oh.
Xbox, PlayStation, Stadia.
Oh.
I don't know how making these things go, but I can imagine when you're using the development
Yeah.
software and hardware, that to make it work on each one has to have
Yeah.
all its all sorts of problems and hang-ups and stuff like that
That's a very
I'm
good
oblivious
point.
to. But
That's
still, like I said, this is more buggy than a bunch of other indie games. So you can complain about it, and it shouldn't be this buggy. But there's a degree of understanding, particularly in an indie developed game, and when you're doing it on cross-platform so hard. Like
Yes.
that, this is a proper cross-platform scenario.
It really is. And I think that's why exclusivities sometimes do just perform way
Oh
better.
no, I agree entirely.
If you
It's
can
like I was-
optimize for one system,
Yeah.
like all the Nintendo games, they're far from indie, but
But yes, you're exactly
they're
right.
the
But-
best performing games you've got.
No, yeah, instead of like Pokemon games, but that's Game Freak.
Instead
You mean,
of
like,
Pokemon games,
you mean Nintendo, like Mario,
Nintendo, first party
and
Nintendo
Kirby
games.
and
The
stuff like
Switch
that.
is
Yeah, exactly.
old, but the games they make for it are
No,
still
exactly right. And it's like an interesting. I was reading about Final Fantasy 16 that's coming out
Yeah.
next week, right?
yes.
PlayStation 5 exclusive, not going to 4 in the slightest. So it's the first time it's only PlayStation 5. And their release window for the PC version, as it always does, well over a year.
Wow.
Because it's so hard. Like you said, they took the PlayStation 5 and they built it around it. Which
Yes.
means, hopefully, knock on wood, it's not going to be a buggy mess. Because they built it around one development tool.
Hopefully.
And then a big studio like that, and it takes over a year to release it.
Yeah.
Now, there is a exclusivity right thing for 6 months with PlayStation, which you're not allowed to release anything else until after 6 months.
Yes.
But it literally, a big studio takes that long to try and fix it, to make sure it can work on the multitudes of PCs out there. So that's a big studio, and it takes a year just to do one game onto another platform. To do it onto multiple platforms, like I said, it would be a nightmare. I can only imagine it would be insane. I was just reading that yesterday, which just makes me want to play Final Fantasy 16 now.
Jeez, I really want to play Final Fantasy 16.
Oh, like I said, sorry, we're going off topic. Sorry, let's.
No,
okay.
it's fine. If you want to subscribe to our Patreon to get additional content, please
That's right.
go to patreon.com/Critical Arcade. We want to play Final Fantasy 16.
We really do. We really do. Okay, last but not least, then, value for money.
Value for money. This one is weird, and I think sits in the middle.
So I think you and I scored this one differently too.
Okay, but on opposite spectrums this time.
Yeah, exactly. I scored it really low, value for money.
Yeah.
Mainly, it's free, so yeah, it's free now, and it's worth it.
Included in PS Plus.
Yeah, okay, it's true. So it's not free. That's true. You are actually paying that subscription
Yes.
fee. But again, it's one of those games that is relatively short. Or let's say it's actually short.
It is short. It's
game.
a short game.
And I can't see myself ever playing it again. I'd play
Same.
it. Now I know that you could play it and you could choose another love interest or you could choose a couple decisions, but I just don't think those decisions are going to be game breakers.
No, I don't think so either.
I must know what happens if I say yes to this one and no to this. It's just not, and it's a bit nicer not to, because then you're playing like a pure Gilmore Girls thing. You made your decisions and you've made your bed and that's it.
Yeah.
The idea of going back would ruin the whole relaxed
It really would to
aesthetic of it.
optimize your decisions.
Yeah, exactly.
No.
It seems wrong to a hardcore gamer, this type of game. To get
another thing that this game kind of brings across is everyone makes mistakes and it's okay.
Yeah, exactly right. No, true. It's very human, right? It's got a very human aspect
Exactly.
to everything about it. But
this game has 3 endings. Just save
that's right.
before you make your decision.
Yeah, if you
And
really want to change it.
If you really want to, but don't play this game 3 times.
No, it just hasn't got it there. I would play, like if they released another one called, I don't know, Quarry or Sea or, I don't know, Woods.
Valley or Mountain.
Yeah, I'd be intrigued enough to pick it up. I would, because the narrative is worth it. But the value for money, like I said, if it weren't on the PlayStation subscription and it was like a $30 game, I'd be like, whoa.
No, I agree with you there.
I like supporting indie developers, I really do. But come on, this is nice. I love the idea of it. It's not a game I picked up before, that type of game. I enjoy a visual novel type game, but this was better than that. This had more vibes, it had more feeling.
Yes.
So it definitely did really well. But there's no way that I'm playing this game again in a year because
no,
it's just not there.
You're right. I mean, I agree with everything you're saying. I found this game on Steam for $20. $20, I think, is a very good amount for a game like this.
Yeah, but it's still quite old now, right? What was it, 2020?
It's 2021.
2 years. Okay, 2 years. Sorry.
This isn't an old game.
Okay.
I think that the value for this game isn't in the actual game. I think the value that this game provides is it's either in its messages, it's in its experience, or it's in how would I say this? It's in what this game leaves in
Yeah,
you
what it-
after
yeah.
you've played this game,
No,
right?
I'm with
A couple
you,
of
yeah.
days after you've played this game, and you still got that funny feeling, oh, I want to go to Providence Oaks in Oregon and just
that's
drive
right.
around
It's-
and deliver mail. That's the value this game provides.
It's the takeaway.
Exactly.
It's the takeaway from it, right? No, I agree. You appreciate
that-
the leaves more and all that.
In this very specific case, Lake, that is more valuable than playing the game itself. And that is, for me, worth $20.
Wow, that was like a one of those ending Sesame Street moments. That was deep. It was like, this is one of those moments at the end of the cartoon where they teach you the power of friendship and why it's important. No, and it does have that aspect to it, a bit more grown up than Sesame Street. But yeah, it does.
We don't need to agree.
No, exactly right. But no, we both agree it's a charming game. We both agree it's worth the pickup. Oh, and on that segue, what did we score it?
Right, yeah. The scores for Lake, a 2021 game by Gamius, published by Whitehorn Games. Let's see here. Our scores, drove away from home and worked in the city for 22 years developing a software in the 80s. But it came back to town and made a nest after it saw how horrible the city was. And that shitty boss.
Yeah, I know, right?
And it gave itself a letter grade rating of C-.
Which isn't bad, like I said, for an
No,
indie
that's
game.
a fine game.
It's the same as Star Wars Jedi Academy and Wario World and
I think
Darksiders 3.
Yeah, I think the same reason. The reason it got a C- is just because of that performance issues, which unfortunately we had to give it.
Yeah, exactly right. We can't just omit those types of things.
No,
it would, like I said, it would more like got rid of that. We're hitting B tier type game, which
Oh
which is
yeah, we're
impressive,
almost hitting
right?
B tier. The atmosphere and the takeaway that this game gives you, very little games can do the same.
No, I agree. Like I said, if you are a fan of Gilmore Girls or I don't know other ones, One Tree Hill. I can't remember.
I know, me neither.
I
It's
never watched
Gilmore
these
Girls.
things. Gilmore
Just
Girls
stick
is the only thing that's coming into my mind.
Yeah.
If you are, this game is 100%.
Dawson's
for you.
Creek.
Dawson's Creek works.
Yeah.
Party of Five.
I don't
that's too
know any
old.
others.
You won't know that. But yeah, it is good. If you like those type of things, this is you playing that role, which is great. It's a C- game. It's definitely worth a pick up, especially if you got the PlayStation subscription. It's on there for free. It's quite short. If you want a nice palate cleanser, this is definitely one of those. If you've been murdering things and killing things and saving the world, if you just want to relax for a little bit, this is definitely a game that you should try.
Virgin River.
Are you looking for more?
Yeah. I've got
sitcoms?
Northern Rescue. Here's one.
I don't know either of those.
I mean, it's similar to this type of. It's
Virgin
seriously similar
River
to this
is
type of
amazing.
game.
But yeah, go on.
My wife is just tugging my arm next to me. She wants to go watch the.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
Anyway, that's Lake. A very, very nice, just serene time. If it's raining or if it's sunny or you just if you're homesick, just play this game.
No, entirely. Yeah, it really is.
It's gonna make you feel better. It's gonna give you a nice cry.
Mm-hmm. No,
Just
I
do
agree
it.
entirely.
Games can give you a lot of feelings. It doesn't always have to be war or fighting or whatever. It can be warm, fuzzy feelings like this game.
Really good. It really can, and that's the wonderfulness of the medium that is gaming. It's more than just the sum of its parts.
Yes, I'm very pleasantly surprised by this game.
Same.
Thank you for listening to this week's episode of the Critical Arcade Podcast. If you'd be so kind, you could leave us a review on whatever platform you're listening to. It would help us a lot. You could follow us on our social media channels, on Facebook, Instagram. You can catch me on email at nick@criticalarcade.com.
And I'm Dave at criticalarcade.com.
But besides your email, Dave, where else can we follow you?
Well, I am, like I said, I'm always out and about, especially now after playing this game. I think I'm going to be out there amongst the trees and listening to the birds and slowly walking up to a pier, to an old man at the end. It'll take about 30 minutes to do it. But if you do find me out there,
Yeah.
I will, and I have these magical powers, I will make sure that Meredith's boss becomes your boss and is very, very, very chummy with you.
No, thank
and you can only get away from him at the same speed Meredith runs in this game.
Which is 3% faster
which
than
is
a walk.
3% faster than a slow walk.
Isn't that just the worst? Just scummy, chummy bosses.
Oh, he really
chummies.
is. Oh, I hate it.
Oh,
because
no thanks.
And I think that, like I said before, because I've known people just like that.
Yeah, of course. We
I've
all
known
do.
People just like that, and that's why it hits so well. So yeah, if you want to follow me, you can slow walk your way from a pain in the ass boss for the rest of your life.
Yeah, pro tip.
Pro tip.
Don't.
If you want, seriously, don't. You'll be screaming for Oregon even more.
You could rather follow us on Patreon for more exclusive content where we produce bonus content like a post show, just an additional hour where we talk about the gaming industry and games that we like and have played. And also an entirely new show called Critical Cinema where we do exactly this, but for movies instead of games. So tune into Patreon if you're interested in any of that. David.
Yes.
How about you tell us what is up for next week?
I thought I was in trouble. You used my full name. I was like, what did I do now?
Sorry.
I got called David. I'm about to say, whoa. What do I do right now? Next week's game is a... I'm going to call it a classic, but it's not. A classic for me always means it has to be an old game.
I don't know. It's been 10 years.
It's a beloved
There
franchise.
we
It's the
go.
third one in the beloved franchise. I'm sure you've all heard of it. BioShock Infinite.
That's right.
Now,
That's
this
right.
is the third in the BioShock franchise.
It is. It's Ken Levine's third baby from Irrational Games, RIP. BioShock Infinite from 2013. We've all still got a crush on Elizabeth.
Oh, no doubt. And they took it from the sea and then to the sky. Who didn't want that idea? So yeah, Elizabeth, everybody's favorite.
I don't know.
Lovecraftian waifu. Not really.
English mage.
That works. We all love her. We all love. Like I said, if you don't love BioShock, even I love BioShock, and I'd still put BioShock as like the original's kind of a scary game.
Yeah.
But even
it
love
is.
BioShock. And even Infinite is kind of scary. I haven't played it in a very long time, so I look forward to jumping back into there. So yeah, it should be a good one.
Yeah. And also, quite exciting. This is going to be our first proper collaboration episode. We're being joined by That Freaking Geek, Alex Samuel.
Yeah, proper exciting. Like I say, he's a proper professional, proper legend in South Africa.
Yeah, big content creator.
Yeah, we look forward to collaborating with him and his views on this. I'm told this is one of his favourite games of all time.
Exactly why we're playing it.
Yeah, I'm intrigued to see the reasons why and what he thinks of it. And
Same.
It's going to be exciting.
Tune in next week if you want to hear any of that. And we'll see you then. Cheers.
Okay, cheers. Bye.